I mean, you look at last year's figures, 73% of all the money that was made has gone to 1% of the population. So we are talking in that kind of context, and when we talk about poverty now, we are not talking relative poverty anymore. We are talking about extremes of poverty. You know, on the one hand, we keep saying, of course, that we are a large population and therefore you need to do this. Then we say we have the largest databases of all of this. Then we say that 99.76%, which means what you leave out is still a substantial number. And though that substantial number, remember, when we are talking about these kinds of benefits that they are talking about, these are services that are being given to people because our country is keeping them poor. And then to impose this burden on them to make sure that they are not part of that whatever percent. But I'm saying that it's irrelevant to even say that, because actually it is established, and this is not just data that I or my friends would be giving you from governmental databases, to show that 20 to 25% failure rate happens all the time. So why are we in denial about this? If we really care about the poor and the system is supposed to deliver to the poor, why should we be in denial? And actually the most important thing that has happened in the past 30 years is saying that, listen, the state and the center are too far away from a people for them to take care of the everyday. People should be able to participate. And so you had the third tier of democracy where people come in and do things for themselves. Now we are making them subjects again. So to me it seems like the court was accommodating the government, and therefore it was looking at it from a certain perspective. For people who went to the court, they were looking at it from the perspective of people who are struggling with this system. And so their world, the universe that they were looking at was completely different. See, this mandatory or not it's more than that. Because now they've said that there are certain places where it can't be used at all. So there's no question of mandatory, voluntary, nothing. You just can't ask for it. There are other places where they say with consent it can be done. What I don't find them as having acknowledged is that all this time consent and coercion have meant the same thing. Misrepresentation, fraud, coercion, these should be punishable under this law. They haven't really looked at that, and I think it's important to look at that. What they've said is that one of the privacy principles is that you must have a law before you'll have a violation of privacy. It also says that you may have a law, but it may still not meet the test of proportionality. So even if there is a law, it is subject to challenge. ITR and PAN, the court has decided that it is all right because they passed a law. What I find fascinating is that the Aadhaar Act was passed as a money bill. The ITR and PAN thing was passed as a money bill. So it's almost like no debate in Parliament is needed, and there need be no place where any of us has a say on any of this. And the inclusion of ITR, inclusion of UID in the ITR and PAN, that provision itself takes it out of being a money bill. So I'm not very sure, in any case, even if they wanted to justify it as a money bill, the fact is that, you know, if you just through a money bill, can you coerce and impose a system which can produce risk and insecurity for them? That's something that the court hasn't addressed.